As Shara's Azeroth became a spire's trap, NSD the touched essence, a blade titans turned against the Whisperer's titans, was not architects of betrayal. The actually air offer as Shara NSD the touched essence, a blade titans, what dwell beyond the cosmos if there was not architects of betrayal malice entropy. What if they're not to corrupt but to bind? Azeroth became a trap, its essence a blade turned against the titans. What if their crime was not malice? What if it was strategy, a world forged in darkness, waiting to strike when the light returns? Azeroth's world soul binds 6 forces. The Void Lords did not corrupt it weaponized. A cradle for the old gods to fester, a trap for the Titans' return. The Pantheon's prison seals a paradox, containment becomes catalyst. Each shackle on Yogg-Saron tightens Azeroth's dread potential. What if the world soul's true purpose is not to save, but to strike? The war within is no rebellion. It is a failsafe primed to unmake the Titans' work. The Void Lord's design was clear. Let darkness gestate until the light's architects return. Then let the world soul rise a void titan forged in their shadow. The age of the old gods is not an aberration. It is an inevitability. Azeroth's heart beats with a different kind of power, one that waits, one that calculates, one that will not forgive. The void is no mere shadow, it is the primordial force that gnaws at creation's edges, older than starlight. Before the Titans shaped life, the Black Empire thrived in Azeroth's crust, its roots laced with the world soul's raw potential. The old gods were not accidental spawn but calculated vectors, their corruption a key to unlock the soul's latent power. Azeroth's heartbeat is not a secretite, is a weapon. The Void Lords foresaw the Titans' return, their light a threat to unravel the darkness. By nesting their abominations here, they turned the world soul into a trap. Every writhing husk, every festering maw, is a thread in a tapestry of vengeance. The Black Empire's legacy is not decay but strategy. The soul's resonance amplifies the void's whisper, turning the Titan's own design against them. This is no accident of evil. It is a wound with purpose. Azeroth's pulse does not merely wait, it anticipates asterisk. The light will come, and the darkness will be ready. What if the Void Lord's crime was not chaos but calculation? The Black Empire's rise wasn't an accident, it was a snare. Azeroth's world soul pulsed with potential. The Void Lords saw it. They planted the old gods not to rot this world but to arm it. The evidence lies in the Empire's bones. A civilization built before the Pantheon's shadow fell. The old gods did not merely dwell here. They engineered here, forged tools not of destruction, but of containment . Azeroth's veins hum with machinery meant to bind not to breed. The Void Lords seed old gods like spores, only on worlds whose souls sing with promise. They do not create, they repurpose . Azeroth was chosen for its resonance. Its song could one day match the Titans. Imagine the trap, a world soul twisted to mirror the light's frequency. A weapon primed to shatter the Pantheon's return. The Black Empire was never a mistake, it was a prototype. The old gods' every act, every war, every monument was a charge in a battery. Azeroth's pain fuels its purpose. The Void Lords did not corrupt this world, they cultivated it. What waits beneath the Pantheon's gaze, not a corpse, a coiled spring. The world soul's pulse is no accident, it is a metronome, tick, tick, the light returns, and the darkness breathes . The veil of eternal blossoms is no mere garden, a scar, a festering wound where Yogg-Saron's body was wrenched from the earth. The Pantheon's hymns called it a cleansing. A footnote in Chronicle Vol. 2, the world soul's hymn grew thin there, they did not kill the old gods, they caged them. Left Azeroth's pulse a hollow rhythm. Did the Pantheon see the cost? A soul gnawing on its own ribs to survive. The blossoms bloom in silence, no dirge, only the breath of something buried, something the Void Lords knew would fester. Their design was not chaos, it was patience. The Watchers in Ulduar whispered of unstable void zones near the Veil. A buried truth, the Pantheon's chains are not just for the old gods, they are a dam. Azeroth's world soul, fractured by Yogg-Saron's removal, became a vessel, a cradle. the Void Lords did not implant the old gods to corrupt. They planted a seed to sprout when the Titan's gaze turned back. The on-courage bas-reliefs show serpents coiled around a dying star. Not a warning, a blueprint. The Pantheon's theology was a flaw. They believed containment was victory. They did not ask what thrives in wounds. The blossoms do not wither, they multiply. Azeroth's pulse grows weaker. The Void Lord's move was not to conquer, to wait, to let the Pantheon's hubris birth a weapon. The world soul, fractured and yearning, is no shield. It is a fuse, and the light returns. Tick, tick. The darkness breathes . Sargeras saw the end in the void's eye, a titan of shadow, not light, rising to unmake the cosmos. The Void Lords did not act in chaos. They shaped the old gods as catalysts, a gestation ground for a being that could rend the Titan's legacy. Azeroth's world soul, a relic of creation, became their instrument. Its agony, its defiance, forged a weapon the Void could wield. The war within's shattered truths hide a deeper wound. The old gods were never the first strike. Their corruption of Azeroth's heart was a pregnancy, a slow birth of something that could outlast even the Titan's absence. What the war within revealed as a parasite was a pincer Azeroth's heart, primed to strike when the Titan's gaze turned homeward. Sargeras' vision was no aberration, it was a mirror. The Void Lords knew the Titans would return. They needed a blade honed in suffering, a world soul twisted to echo their own hollow might. Azeroth's lifeblood, bound to the light, became its death sentence. Every scream, every war, every shattering of hope fed the forge. The Void Titan was never meant to conquer. It was meant to cancel to erase the Titan's work in a single, perfect stroke. The old gods were the spark, Azeroth was the tinder, and the world Soli's the hammer waiting to fall. The fuse is lit, the light returns, and the darkness, breathes . The Pantheon sealed the old gods away, yet the Black Empire's bones predate their arrival. If containment worked, why does the Void's architecture persist beneath Azeroth's crust? The Pantheon's chains held but not tightly enough. The old gods whispered through stone, shaping a civilization even as they were shackled. A paradox, the very act of imprisonment may have fed their schemes. The Black Empire was not a relic of freedom, but a weapon forged in captivity. The Pantheon saw prisoners. The old gods saw a forge. Every pillar of their dark city was a plea to the future, a signal to the Void Lords, we endure . And when the light returned, the Pantheon's solution, burying the old gods deeply, muffled their song, never silenced it. What if their containment was no failure? What if it was the first move in a game where the board itself is a trap? The Pantheon imprisoned the old gods. But who, in turn, imprisoned the Pantheon? The Pantheon sealed the old gods beneath Azeroth's crust, blind to the deeper architecture of their prison. Azeroth's world soul is no ordinary well of power. It resonates with all six primal forces, a rare convergence of entropy and order. The Void Lords, exiled beyond the edges of creation, did not merely seek to corrupt, they sought a lever, a fulcrum. Azeroth's soul, bound to the old god's prison, became the fulcrum of their vengeance. Consider the geometry of this trap. The old gods are not chaos, they are a mechanism. Their slow unraveling of Azeroth's stability does not stem from malice, but from design. Every tremor, every plague of undeath, every whisper in the deep stone is a gear turning. The world soul, forced to sustain the old god's prison, begins to twist. Its six forces collide, generating a byproduct the Void Lords could not have engineered directly, a resonance signature, a prototype, a blueprint for a Void Titan. The Titans, in their arrogance, completed the circuit. By forging civilizations, by shaping life, they amplified the world soul's output. Every soul born, every mountain raised, fed the old god's prison and thus the Void's weapon. The Pantheon's wars, their triumphs, their very existence became the kiln in which the Void Titan gestates. What does this imply? That the Void Lord's strategy was not to fight the Titans, but to outlast them, to turn their legacy into a grave. Azeroth is not a battlefield, it is a nursery, and the old gods. They are the first breath of something that will one day unmake even the Void. The question is no longer why Azeroth was chosen. The question is, when the Void Titan awakens, will it march against the Titans or against us? What if the Void Lord's greatest crime wasn't corruption, but a cosmic chess move? The Pantheon sealed the old gods beneath Azeroth, believing containment would preserve order. They erred. By caging rather than erasing, they forged a conduit. The world soul, that raw essence of creation, became a Bicona target. The Void Lords did not seek to rot this world, they sought to position it. Azeroth's heart, pulsing with primordial life, is the key the Titans will seek when their slumber ends. The Chronicler now sees the Pantheon's hubris, their faith in barriers, their refusal to burn what they could not control. Azeroth was never meant to be a tomb, it was a nursery. Every war, every dynasty, every soul that rises or false threads in a tapestry, the Void wove long before the first god drew breath. What have we nurtured in the dark? The Titans' return will not find a world they shaped. They will find a weapon honed in the absence of their gaze. And in that moment, the Pantheon's final failure will echo through the strata. They overlooked Azeroth's world soul was not a target but a pawn in a grander war. The Codex whispers of Azeroth's role, a blade forged in the Void's crucible. The old gods are not corruption. They are seeds planted across the cosmos, waiting for the Titan's return. What other celestial forges did the Void Lords infiltrate? How many world souls simmer with dormant malice, primed to strike when the Pantheon's back is turned? You hold one chronicle. How many others lie buried in the dust of forgotten stars? The answer is not in the gods' triumphs but in the patterns of their neglect. Where else did the Void Lords whisper? What else did they make? Look, listen, the next weapon is already dreaming. They overlooked Azeroth's world soul was not a target, but a pawn in a grander war. The Codex whispers of Azeroth's role, a blade forged in the Void's crucible. The old gods are not corruption. They are seeds planted across the cosmos, waiting for the Titan's return. What other celestial forges did the Void Lords infiltrate? How many world souls simmer with dormant malice, primed to strike when the Pantheon's back is turned? You hold one chronicle. How many others lie buried in the dust of forgotten stars? The answer is not in the gods' triumphs, but in the patterns of their neglect. Where else did the Void Lords